Today we're here to talk about CPA, or cost per acquisition, which is simply just a formula that expresses your total spend divided by the number of customers that you acquire, or cost to acquire a customer. So if I spend $1,000 and I get 10 customers, that would be a $100 CPA. But we're going to talk about a very important point about what happens to CPA as your business grows. So here we have sort of this traditional customer adoption bell curve. If you've ever taken a marketing class in your life, you've probably seen this. This represents the total market, and it moves from what we call innovators to early adopters to the early majority, bad spacing there, to the late majority, to the laggards. And this is the sequence by which people adopt a new technology or product. And what's really important to understand about this curve as it relates to cost per acquisition is this. The cost to acquire a customer moves up as you move out. Here's what I mean. Let's start at the very beginning of your brand, the day you're launching your business. And here is everybody's favorite customer, Mom. Mom buys anything that you're selling. The cost to acquire Mom is $0. She is your biggest fan in the world, and despite the fact that she may not be innovative, she is free to acquire every time because she loves you so much. But all the way down here, we have a subsistence farmer in rural China. And the point is just to say somebody very far away that is very difficult to reach. And the cost to acquire farmer who doesn't even have the internet is lots of money. You got to get on a plane, you got to go fly all the way out there, you got to get in front of them, get a translator, and try and sell them your product. So as you move out this curve, okay, the cost to acquire customers usually looks something like this. Boom. The cost is moving up. Now, realistically, it probably moves something more like this, where you start out and it goes up, and then you create some efficiencies, and then it goes up like that. It's probably more of a curve like that. But the point is, as you scale, as volume goes up, as you move into the bulk of the market, so if the y-axis here is volume, the higher the hump, the more people are in it, the more expensive they become to acquire. So as you are thinking about planning for your CPA over time, so if we just do a little graph and it's CPA, and this is time, you should build a model that has it moving like that. All customer acquisition metrics degrade over time like physics. Absent network effects, your customers will become more expensive to acquire over time. Well, why is that? Why does that happen? And it has to do with what is required from each group to make a decision about their product. So if you think about the types of creative that each of these groups want, these people want to be first. They want to be novel. They don't like advice from other people. They want to discover, right? And then what ends up happening is each segment of the market basically makes decisions because the previous one did. All the way down until specifically this part of the market, you can't actually capture the market without capturing these people because they thrive off of one thing: reviews and social proof from aspirational members of the community. So the reason these people are more expensive to acquire is because the assets that are necessary to get them include things like thousands of reviews, as well as high quality PR and influencers, and basically credibility that proves out their decision, because these people make decisions primarily out of fear, out of a desire to fit in, to make sure they're not being taken advantage of, where these people are much more likely to do something and discover in first. So not only do you have to think about and plan for your CPA rising over time, but you also have to think about adjusting the messaging depending on the stage that you're in. Identifying who these people are and why they make behavioral decisions, and thinking is that these people would hate if you showed them lots of reviews about your product and what somebody else said, because they are innovators. They want to discover. And so they want to be the ones that bring the noise to the rest of the market. So as you think about cost per acquisition in your business, it is really important that as you build forecasts, so if you're forecasting there's going to be an inverse relationship, meaning as spend goes up, CPAs, well, so there's efficiency goes down. Efficiency is going to go down. But as spend goes up, CPA goes up. So CPA has a positive relationship with spend. Efficiency, or ROAS, would have a negative relationship. So as you begin to model out and you say in month 1, I'm going to spend $10,000 and I'm going to anticipate a $20 CPA. And then you look all the way down at month 12, if your forecast includes 10xing this number, I'm now spending $100,000 and I have a lower CPA, you are at risk of running into margin destruction. Instead, follow this curve. Again, you can build efficiencies into this arena where you can see the CPAs decrease for a period of growth, where you create efficiency. This is generally like what I call the period of, let's call it rapid margin growth. Okay, so this is when you believe, and this is a lot of times where people believe that their economics are going to play out forever, and they're going to be able to maintain this reduction in CPA as they come down this curve where they're actually increasing the volume but decreasing the CPA. They begin to believe that that is going to maintain forever, but it won't. Because remember, the cost to acquire moves out from your mom to the last person in rural subsistence farming China. And as you move out that curve, they become more expensive to reach, more expensive to convince, more difficult to acquire at scale, because these people become less accessible through mediums like Facebook and Instagram. You have to move into broader forms of advertising that reach them, and all sorts of reasons that CPA has a positive relationship with spend and an inverse relationship between spend and efficiency.